Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On About Bar podcast. It's great to have you all here join. It's been a while. I've been off and around, and I'm really happy for those joining via video to actually see this for the first time. I have welcoming good friend and fellow industry expert Dicky from Firefly Bar at Sindhorn Kempinski. Dude, how are you, man? It's good.
Very good, very good. It's been a long time. I mean, I haven't done anything like this.
Really? Is this your first podcast, or?
I think this is my first podcast. Mostly it's kind of like interviews.
Okay.
You know, magazines and something like that. But the podcast, I never done anything like this.
Well, great. I'm glad this is your first time. I'm really happy. This is the first time in this studio, which I'm really happy about too, because now people get to see my pretty face and yours as well. Obviously, yours is much better.
No.
Dicky, how have you been, man? How's life? What's been going on? Anything exciting?
I mean, life in Bangkok, it's very vibrant. Bangkok is such a big city, right? So working in this industry, live in Bangkok, I think what else you can ask more?
Yeah. Now, I mean, you know, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. Obviously, we're good friends. I always visit your bar, and we've done a lot of stuff like many events, guest shifts. But I really love your way of hosting, your sort of hospitality as well. And I want to find out, like, where did that come from? Was that something that you just sort of fell into? Or did you grow up being an entertainer and wanting to sort of be hospitable to people? Where was that from?
Actually, I think that's all learning process, right? I've been very lucky that I can, I traveled a lot. And also I work in several different countries. And the things that I always take is the cultures, the histories of that places. So when you know the culture, when you learn about history, when you learn about how people live differently in different part of the world, that's the times all this come into you, and you want to be there. You want to be part of the city. You're not just living in Bangkok, but you want to be part of Bangkok. I think that's the things that many people forgot about. This, like, you are also part of the city, even though we are just nobody. So when you live and when you feel that you are there, that's the time that you can be a very good host to everyone that come to your restaurants, to your bars, even to your podcast.
It's true though, because every time I visit a bar, you really do have like this infectious smile, and it's through your whole team as well. The whole team sort of have that. So it's clearly something you've instilled with them. But it's great, man. It always feels like I'm coming back home. You know, I don't feel like any pretentiousness when I walk into the bar. Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
How important is that for you, for like to have that welcoming home sort of environment to your guests?
So I think that is the ultimate goals for us as a team in Firefly Bars, to be a ultimate host, like what you said, because there is hundreds, thousands of bars in Bangkok. Everyone serves different type of alcohols. Everyone serves different type of cocktails. What makes you different?
Okay.
I think it's about the hospitality. It's about how you feel inside. I always tell to the team, like, we all need to remember, like, it's not how good we are, but it's how good when the guests leave the place.
Yeah.
They might come already feeling good. That is great, right? When they leave the bars, they feel even better. But when they come to the bars, they have something we don't know. What happened during the day, what they have been through, that we all don't know. We cannot judge that, because we are all human beings. We are not psychic that can read people's mind. Like, you come to the bar and, I know you have something today. Like, oh, let me fix something for you, and blah blah blah. And many people, funny things, like, I think is kind of exaggerated, that many people think like, oh, you see my face, you can design the drinks to what you feel about me. Like, no one can do that.
Yeah. And sometimes people just have a bad day, right? So it's like,
Correct.
No matter what you do, it's you know, you can't always win. But maybe we should we'll go back a little bit, and we're actually talking about Firefly Bar itself.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about the bar. Tell us about why Firefly, and also the concept behind the menu.
So basically, Firefly is kind of, we are hotel bars. We are still like established in the hotels. It's Sindhorn Kempinski Hotels. We are part of the hotels, but we don't want to be kind of the old-fashioned stiff hotel bars that people will come and say, oh, this is so glamorous, but there's no soul inside of it, right? So we want to be very hospitable. In the same times, our concept is a jazz bar and also cocktails. So jazz and cocktails, plus also we have enormous selections of spirits. So we don't want to kind of like limit, but we don't want to be too much. So carefully choose what kind of like good for our guests, what kind of suits to our guests. So that's the times we created the menu. So Firefly concept again is a jazz, is a cocktails, and the menu the first that we created is just very simple. But now we are in the volume 2. The volume 1 is just a very simple kind of classic twist cocktails just to introduce Firefly to Bangkok market. And the second one now that we currently have is about the journey of Firefly. So as we believe, Firefly in Thai cultures, kind of mythical, magical creatures. So whenever you see a firefly, your wish, your dream will come true.
Okay.
So you will see kind of fairies, kind of pictures in the classic pictures of Thailand. So like the big tit firefly as a kind of like various goddesses, something like that. So we want to bring this kind of feeling to the guests, like, oh, when you come here, maybe you get a better feeling, your dream will come true or whatever. So this kind of story that we want to tell. So the volume 2 is about the journey. So we choose several different places around the world. And it starts, of course, with Thailand. So Thailand, and then go all the way to Turkey, go all the way to India, and then to Europe, to South America, to the North America. And from each different places, we create the cocktails according to the flavors that may be identical to that kind of regions. Plus, also, we combine with a little bit of Asian twist. So it's kind of East, Midwest flavors. And we wanted to also create the next volume, but still undergo for brainstorming, like kind of what kind of story we want to tell more. So from the journey to Firefly, maybe we go to something else.
Okay. So one thing also which we discussed about recently was the fact that people want things quite fast, particularly with young staff and young teams. And, me, I was in the industry 15 years, right? I had to work my way up from, glass washer to bar manager of hotels. But it does seem that people want instant gratification, instant learning. And I see now that a lot of bartenders are jumping from bar to bar far too fast.
Yes.
6 months here, then I'm done and learn. 6 months there. It doesn't work like that. You have to spend a good couple of years in a place to really develop and learn from someone. What's your thoughts on this? Are you seeing it yourself? Or?
Yes, definitely. Like I even experienced it myself, right? When you develop someone and then after that couple of years, maybe 1 or 2, then people leave you. But back in the day when we start working in the bars, we really need to spend minimum of 3 to 4 years in one place to learn.
Yeah.
Because we understand now is technology world everywhere. Easy access for everything's recipes, histories. If you want to read something, it's just open your phone and everything is there. But back in the day, we need to buy a book, like bartending book. Like there's not much video in YouTube, not much thing we can see in the internet. I mean, it's there, but it's not like now. Now it's like enormous information that you can get. So I kind of understand why this happening is because of course, easy access and everything. But also people tend to forget. I think now that's why I want to remind all the young bartenders out there, like you shouldn't forget about the foundations. The foundations of everything is foundation of bartending. What is bartending? So they need to learn, like, actually bartending or bartender. Bartender, who is the bartender? It's the people who tend the bar. So we tend the bar. We are nobody. We are not superstars.
Yeah.
We are not some kind of celebrity Instagram. So when you achieve something, definitely is good for you. Like you won a competitions and people recognize you, that you grab that opportunity to grow yourself. That's, I truly believe that you should.
Yeah.
But when you jump to one bar to another bars, like you don't have mentor, the real mentor that will guide you, will drive you. Of course, we are working we are working in the bars. We just don't make a friend, but we need to make money. We need to make life and everything else. But mentorship is very important for me because that's what I carry on until now.
Yeah, I agree. And it sometimes you just got to stick it out. I mean, a perfect example will be Martin Herdak, right? He the World Coffee Championship. I can't remember what the competition was called, but he won that.
Yes.
But still, he entered like 5 times before and didn't win. You know, he had to keep going and entering, but he knew he wanted it.
True.
It was just a matter of like just persistence, right? And just sticking to it and not giving up. So yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, and I always remind people like try to learn from the Japanese bartending culture.
Right.
Like a person want to learn how to be a bartender, they spend good enough 3 to 4 or 5 years just to cut the ice.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
just to wipe the bottles, just to wipe the shakers. So I mean, I don't ask you to do that,
right?
But you know, the precisions, the persistence, and the passion they have. That I think the things that we need to learn from.
It's like how many years does it take to be a sushi master?
Like 10 years to make a rice only.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, cool. And it being a hotel bar, there are some very lavish sort of surroundings. The glass was very beautiful. The service is on point as well. Can you tell me about some of the cocktails, some of the most popular drinks you have on the menu?
Popular drinks, we have one cocktails called Lady in Red. So the first one is Lady in Red, and then now we call it Elegant Lady in Red. So it's kind of continuations of
evolution. Okay.
Yes, evolution of the cocktail that people ordered always. Lady in Red once again is iconic figures in Kempinski. So whenever you go to Kempinski, you will see one lady dressed in red dress and with the red shoes, with the red nails polish, and also red lipstick. So these figures in the lobby kind of like representative of Kempinski, and also it's a one-stop shop. So the lady in red will assist you. You want to ask any questions. Okay. She can also do the check-in for some of the VIPs that arrived to the hotel. And for these iconic figures, we created the cocktails that it looks red, of course, definitely.
So what's in the drink? What's the rest?
It's a gin base, and we use also berries, because berries, of course, identical to the European winter cultures. Whenever during the winters, you guys have a lot of berries, and also the last one we use is red wine reductions. So whenever we have leftover red wine that it might open for more than 3 days, that we cannot, the quality you cannot serve to the guests any longer. So instead of throwing it or chucking down the sink or drink it, we make red wine reductions.
Okay. Now, I mean, I've been to your bar a number of times. You do a lot of guest shifts. In fact, you do a ton of guest shifts recently.
Yep.
I think you've got like two or 3 a month. But no, it's great, man. I mean, it's really become a hub. And you know, one thing I love as well is the entertainment value. You've got the jazz music and the jazz bands every day, right?
Every day, yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I know you get involved in that sometimes.
Yep.
So that's great. Where did actually, maybe I'd like to ask, like, when did you decide to come to Bangkok? How did that opportunity come to you?
Prior to Bangkok, I was in Philippines.
Okay.
So I used to work with amazing bars called the Back Room. So speakeasy style, 1920s, 1930s. It's nice. And during the COVID times, it's hit pretty bad in Philippines. So unlike here in Bangkok, the recovery stage of COVID is more stable, more better than in the Philippines. And came across my previous mentors, my previous boss also work in Kempinski. And we have this beautiful new project of the hotels that opened, which is Sindhorn Kempinski. And the hotel opened during COVID. It's not the best time. But it's kind of like we have also the time to prepare for opening because you have plenty of times. But of course, you have a lot of limitations that you cannot do market visit. You cannot find ingredients. You cannot go to the shop to find a glassware.
Yeah.
Because during the COVID, you won't be able to do that. But in the same times, you have more times to prepare for the documentations, back of house. So when my boss approached me, that's the time I said, okay, Bangkok. I visited Bangkok several times. It's a great city. It's a great country of Thailand. So why not? And that's the time I decided to join.
Okay, I didn't realize it was that sort of soon. It's been quite recent, right? Even with the hotel, I thought the hotel was around longer, but
Yes.
obviously not. So, I mean, tell me more about your love for Bangkok. I mean, you know, I've been here 5 years now. I think we're spoiled for choice. There's so much food and drink and
Correct.
on many different levels. You know, street food is amazing here. You go all the way up to fine dining, Michelin stars. But, you know, where's your sort of favorite place to hang out? Your top bars and restaurants right now?
For restaurants, I rather go to the local joint.
Okay.
Like after finish work, you know, you can go to Ekamai Soy 30.
Yeah.
All the Tonglo bartender is there.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
And that place open until 5, 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where you normally get your food in the morning, like after work?
Sometimes because actually it's a little bit more far, right? From where I work to Ekamai 30. But also in surrounded area like Saladang, there's a lot of street food also there.
Yeah.
And also near Pechaburi, there's a lot of...
There's tons of street food there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So
What's your go-to street food then when you eat?
in the night times, obviously, all the somtams, you know, soup kind of things, and fried rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good hangover food.
Yes.
And what about bars? So where are your favorite bars right now? I mean, it seems crazy because it's like every week there's a new place
There's a new
opening.
place.
It's like always going on. It's hard to keep up with, right?
Correct.
What's been exciting for you? Anywhere new you've been to?
For me, my personal options, when I want to go to enjoy and chill, my favorite bar actually is Joe Whisper.
Oh, okay. Joe
Yeah.
Whisper. I don't think I've been there.
Yeah.
Isn't that Chinatown or?
No, actually it's in Silom.
Oh, okay.
Sathorn.
Okay. Tell me about it. I've never been.
So it's very local bars, very simple bars. They have good selection of spirits in that kind of establishments. But mostly people are drinking beers, and this is music bars.
Okay.
So they play music, but it's a mix, Western music and also Thai music. But mostly they play kind of like rock, alternatives,
okay.
a little bit of pop here and there. But yes, like
Yeah.
I like the kind of like Brit rock. Sometimes they play Oasis. You know, it's nice. It's a nice place.
You're quite a musical person, right, Dicky?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that was all in your life? Have you been musical, or because I know you can sing very well. I've heard you at Firefly. So those who go to the bar, definitely check it out late at night. You might be lucky enough to hear Dicky sing. But was that always something in your life, or is that just a hobby you picked up?
Actually, it's kind of long story. When I was kid, I used to sing in church.
Ah, okay.
Yes, I used to join kind of like choir and sing in church every Sunday. And high school, we are living in this kind of a rock star dream. You know, oh, I want to make a band.
Right. Did you ever have a band, or?
Yeah, so we do have a band, and the band is actually is pretty good and long last until university life.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But when you get busier, when you get a little bit more to kind of like more semesters, like
Yeah.
approaching the graduations, approaching the thesis and everything,
No time.
no time, and everyone think like, oh, maybe this is not our main goal or main life, because to be in the band or to be in music, you really need to have dedications. Maybe many people that play guitars beautifully, play drums very nice, you know, all those skills they have, but they might just happy when they play, but they don't think this is a way of life. It's the same thing like if you have a band, if everyone doesn't have the same visions, that we don't go anywhere.
Very true for a bar as well, I guess, right?
Correct.
Yeah, the bar team is the band, and you've got to have a lead singer, I guess, and take him along.
Yeah.
Can I ask on that then? Some of the things maybe you teach your team, some key points of hospitality or things that you think are so important in a bar that every person has to follow.
So important that every person has to follow.
Yeah,
Like-
maybe some the golden rules of Dicky and hospitality, something like that.
The golden rules:
Mm,
never judge the guests.
that's a good one. Yeah.
That's the first important thing that we really need to put into all our team members. Never judge the guests,
Mm.
and never think they are wrong. Maybe someone ordered you martini on the rocks, served it,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't think like, oh no, we don't serve martini on the rocks, because you won't call it martini. It's already on the rocks. It's
Yeah.
not in martini glass. There is no rituals anymore about the martini when you served it on the rocks.
Mm.
So, but when the guests order, do not offend. Do not think that you know more than them, because that's the way they love to drinks.
Mm.
That's the way they want to enjoy the drinks. It's not your drink, it's the guest's drink. So we should make according to what they're liking.
Yeah, yeah. There is no right or wrong. I mean, look, there's obviously an optimum way to drink certain things, but
Yeah,
you're right. It's down to the personal preference. If someone likes it like this, then who are we to judge?
correct.
At the end of the day, they're going to pay for it. So, so that's golden rule number one: don't judge, and which is a very important one.
Yeah.
How about another rule that you
Another
like to?
Another rules.
Mm.
We have a lot of rules in the hotels.
Well, I suppose in a hotel you've probably got a whole list. Yeah.
That's a whole list.
But is there anything you like, for instance, okay, when you're looking for a hostess or a bartender to join your team, what do you look for in a person?
First things, attitude, personality.
Mm.
Attitude, personality. We cannot teach that. We cannot force someone to be someone else if they are already like that. Skills, knowledge, everything else we can teach, we can give. But personality, attitude, that's the important things, the key things that we always look into it.
Okay. And how many staff have you got now? Got quite a few, right?
Now with me, we are 8.
Okay, 8 in the team.
Yeah, 8 in the team.
Good.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, in terms of the cocktail program, so you said you're on menu 2, correct?
Now it's menu 2, now going to be menu 3.
Ah, okay. So when is that launching?
Hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything goes well, either end of this year or early next year.
Okay, not too far.
Yeah, not far.
Is this going to be another evolution of the Firefly journey, or is there something else you're going to add to it? What are we expecting for issue 3?
So now we have 2 kind of, big idea.
Okay.
One thing is completely something else, but still related to Firefly. Another thing is to continue the journey.
Okay.
So these 2 things haven't decided yet.
Okay. Which side are you on? Which one do you want to go down?
I really want to bring that related to Firefly, but still keep something in between. So I try to kind of convince, because the menu is not only about me, it's also the whole teams.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the teams also have kind of contributions, the idea they wanted, because at the end of the day, they need to be proud also about
Yeah.
the menu.
Yeah.
About the cocktails that we serve. It's not about me. It's about us.
Yeah. I mean, I remember back in the day when I was bartending, bar manager, I would always ask my team to come up with a recipe too.
Yeah.
And I'd help them develop it, but I think it's important for them to have a level of ownership, right?
Yeah.
Something they can be proud of too. But okay, I'm interested to see this new menu. And we were talking the other day about guest shifts.
Yeah.
And I made a joke that you're doing too many, but I think it's good because actually it does bring a lot of attention to the bar and it's obviously working well. I also think it's a good way for networking, right? It's great to be able to share what you're doing with the rest of the bar community in Asia, but also for them to have an opportunity to do that. So you're kind of creating a home for them. What have been some of the best guest shifts you've had recently? I know there's one I'd like to talk to you about, and because I know you said that actually the class before the guest shift was like really special, but maybe tell me about some of the best ones you had.
the best one that I have, of course, is from one of my mentor, which is Stanislav Radna.
Yeah, this is
So-
what I was going to talk about.
Yes, he bring not only drinks or menu for our guests to try, but also he brings to my staff, to some of the bars, bartender in Bangkok that attended the class, like sharing the knowledge. So when we talk about guest shift, I think I do agree with you. Now, every single person's in the bars or every single bars in Bangkok do so many guest shift every single day. But what is the purpose of the guest shift? So when I do it, when Firefly, we did it, we have a purpose for doing it. It's not only for marketing, like, oh, you get to know that you have an event, that's one thing. But another thing is like what you can get from the guest shift. So for me, guest shift is kind of double-edged sword,
Right.
right? There is, of course, bad side. There is also good side. We don't call it bad side, maybe like negative and positive. So the positive things is you get to meet people that you never met before, maybe from another part of the world that some of the brand alcohol invited here in Bangkok, and then you accept that. And then you get to meet, you get to know that your network getting bigger and your connection getting bigger. And another thing, the positive things is about your guest. Your guest might, if you have regular guests that come 2-3 times a week, then they might have something that different. Oh, today I tried new cocktails from this man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And next one, the positive things is about your staff. Your staff also have a chance to know different people from different countries. Maybe not everyone have the privilege like me and you that travel to many different places, and they haven't met people from, let's say, Lithuania. They haven't met people from Slovakia, or they haven't met even people from Australia. So this kind of opportunity is good for our staff. So they get to know different people, they get to know different cultures, and they can learn something from them. So that's also another positive learning process for our teams, like our bartenders. When your bartender work with you every single day, they know what you like. They know how your system work. They know if I say this one, or I will give you this one. Support system is there, but when they work with someone new, that they need to adapt fast. So that's the time they will learn, oh, how. Maybe first guest shift, mess. Second guest shift, still mess. But after that, they will learn more and more like, oh, this is how we adapt. This is how we see how another person work. And they can learn many things from that.
Let's go into that masterclass that you mentioned, because I know it was a pretty special one, right? And I remember seeing the stories, and we talked about it afterwards, but I'd love to dive into that if you don't mind sharing. Because
Yes, of course.
I know you said it was very different from a normal class that you would get, right?
Yep. So basically, the hospitality mindset also, more or less, I get it a lot from him. So he is the persons that travel a lot and blend into that culture. Like blend really, really into that culture. So from each different places that he lived or he learned, he bring the philosophy back to what we can use in bartending industry. So it's very quite something. It's not easy to digest for some people, because you need to learn about all this philosophy. Like for example, aloha.
Right.
So he bring this aloha philosophy into bartending industry. People think aloha, what is aloha? That's,
yeah. Hello in Hawaii, no? Or is it something behind it? Like,
but actually aloha is a greeting, the way of people saying in Hawaii. It means exchange the breath of life.
wow, okay. This is more than just a greeting.
Yeah, it's more than the greeting, because they will touch the nose. From when they say hello, they will touch the nose. Like If you know Maori in New Zealand, they will touch the nose also when they greet because they exchange the breath of life.
Wow.
So
Okay.
from this philosophy, bring to the bartending, and as a bartender, you need to exchange.
Are you now touching all your customers' noses?
No, no, obviously it's you're forcing someone.
But I like that. I didn't actually know about that. So I'll have to look into it. That's interesting though. So I think it's more that, I guess from the class, it's more about when your guests come in, you're giving them more than just a hello, right? It's more
Yes.
about
It's how you recognize them within 5 seconds when you see them, when you look into their eyes, when you smile and say, "Welcome to Firefly."
right,
Mm.
right.
Is it really from here or just because of you work there?
Yeah, exactly. Are you
Right.
saying it or you really mean it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
And I mean, in terms of like how we were saying about guest shifts, there are too many, I think. What is this about? Why are we on like overdrive with guest shifts, do you think, in Asia? Do you think we need to slow down? My idea is always that like less is more, you know what I mean? But I appreciate it's also like, you know, it's part of what has to be done. You know, people want to get on the 50 best list. The only way you can really share your bar and knowledge and who you are is by doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it does seem to be a little bit like too much and sometimes competitive as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
True. Because I think this is one of the trends at the moment that people follow the trends, obviously. And there's so many bars in Bangkok that wanted to be kind of also in the market, like not left behind. So again, it's depend on who you invite, like what is the purpose, and is it benefited to your teams? Is it have the purpose for your team as well, or you just doing it because of the brand asking you to do it? That's all the question that you can ask, and we have so many things like about guest shift, right? So I don't think it's right or wrong. I don't think it's for me, like if you think this is suitable for your bars and you think that the strategy will work, then why not?
Yeah. Sometimes though, it's also like, are you doing it for your guests or are you doing it for the bar community? I mean, it's either way, but
Correct.
sometimes customers just don't really care who's coming in, right? It's like, yeah. Okay, I mean, on that note then, you've done some pretty cool guest shifts around Asia. We sent you to Japan with Remy, I think.
Yep.
And you were part of the Tokyo Bar Show, which is really cool. What's been your favorite place to visit for a guest shift recently?
For guest shift, like actually Singapore and Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taiwan I've never been to.
Taiwan is very, very, how to say, the market is so vibrant also. It's a small country, but the cocktail cultures there is very strong. You will see small bars with 10 seats, but behind the bars, they have a full laboratory equipment.
Right.
Whoa. This is out of the world, right? Like when we are here in Bangkok, if people can afford the whole lab with only 10 seats, that is like,
Yeah, that's not many.
right? So yeah, so the whole bar scenes in Taiwan or Taipei in particular, like it's very, very grow so fast. So they have so much small bars in size because again, they are not really big in the land, right? So you don't have that privilege to have kind of a big, massive lands, and they have a lot of young people that want to know this drinking culture, and they are doing it in the good way. So
yeah. And where did you go for the guest shift? Which bar was it?
Public House.
Okay. I think I've heard of it, but I've obviously never been. Tell me about the bar. What's it like?
Public House is, I think, one of the best bar in Taiwan.
Okay.
Because they have different approach. So many small bars, more crafted cocktails. So Public House is like an old English tavern.
Oh, cool. Okay. Nice.
So when you go inside, it's a wooden, and then they open up to 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. So they have kind of like stages during the service. So the first stages obviously is early crowd plus dinner crowd. So they do serve food. Like again, it's like English pub tavern, something like that. The food is involved. So from, let's say, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. it's an early crowd, the office people eat, sit down at the table. Afterward, from 9 to, let's say, 1 is the cocktails crowd. The young people that want to try the cocktails, crafted cocktail is served. The menu is not overcomplicated, but is also not too simple, so it's well balanced. And after 1, it's just the pub, beers,
Nice.
and then long drinks, whiskey and soda, gin and tonic, done.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I'll have to go one day. And you mentioned Singapore as well. Where did you go for the guest shift in Singapore?
Singapore, I went to 2 places, Smoke and Mirrors, and also, of course, my sister company, Kempinski.
Oh, of course.
Stamford.
Yeah, nice. I love Singapore a lot. It's definitely well developed compared to sort of the Thai market. But yeah, it's fantastic. I'm going to be going over there, I think, quite a lot. We've got BCB coming up, and then also World 50 Best. So are you going to be there for those times, or?
October, I think, yes.
Yep.
November, not sure, because BCB is in November, right?
Yeah.
6 and
I
7.
think so, yeah. That'd be good, though. I think it's really cool having that come over. I mean, BCB is super educational, man. There's some really cool seminars that are lined up for it. And I think it's cool bringing those conversations to Asia. We needed it a lot more.
Yes.
So, good. And, what else are we looking forward to at Firefly? Have you got anything else exciting coming up at the hotel or even the bar? Any other big events you're looking forward to?
For Firefly Bars, yes, we try to keep it alive every single month with multiple events, some special menus, special cocktails, some guest shift. But the particular months that we want to celebrate is October, actually. So October is kind of an anniversary month for our hotels.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you going to do for that?
For Firefly, we do something simple, but not too big, but not too simple. Let's say we want to kind of collaborate with another Kempinski. So, like, we have several unique property in the world, like, let's say, Cancun in Mexico. So we wanted to call them and say, hey, send us the recipes. We will highlight your cocktails menu for a week here, and let's say taste of Cancun from Kempinski in Cancun, and this is the cocktail menu that they have. So you don't need to fly all the way to Cancun to taste it. You can start it from here. And of course, when people see it and people explore, so there is so many Kempinski in the world out there. So, like, let's say Cancun, let's say Munich.
Okay. How many are there? I don't even know. Like
for me, even I don't keep in mind how many in the world.
I'm from hotels as well, so I worked in hotels quite a while, and I kind of liked it, actually. There is something about hotel life that you kind of really get into.
Yeah.
By the end, I hated it. There was a lot of things that it drove me crazy, and I needed that break. But do you like that sort of? You prefer hotel sort of environment compared to sort of standalone bars, or would you ever go to a standalone bar in the future?
For me, because my life, I used to work in the hotel bars,
Right.
like many hotel bars, and also kind of like hotel bars with standalone feeling.
Okay.
The thing that I really like about hotels is the structure. You have pretty much very stable structures, and you have system, which is this is the things that I love to work with system. So that's make me
You need a bit of structure.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Can get that make me stay more and more longer in the hotels, because you have the system. It's easy for you to work with, and of course, for some people it can be very stressful because you need to follow the procedures, this and that. It kind of a long process for sometimes.
Okay.
And if you work in standalone, maybe it's much more simpler. Like You want to buy something, you buy. The next day, you buy.
Yeah, things are a lot faster, right?
Yeah.
There's less people to sort of go up the chain. But
Yes.
no, I understand that. And I mean, I imagine working in a hotel like that must be beautiful. It is a beautiful place, man. I mean, not even just a hotel, but that whole area, the Vela Square, is it Vela?
Yeah.
Like
the Vela.
for those who maybe don't know Bangkok or haven't been here yet, definitely go check it out. It's like this beautiful square. There's like a garden in the middle. And there's probably, there's 2 hotels, right? So you got Kempinski and then you've got the Kimpton.
Yeah.
Then beyond that, you've got all these amazing restaurants and cafes. And it's a very, it's a luxury area, right? But
Yes.
it's very nice, very well done. So, okay.
And I believe in Lang Suan area,
Yeah.
we call it Lang Suan area, right? So in the next maybe 3-6 months, it's gonna be more destinations because many more places are open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So of course you heard that maybe a couple of bars will open soon.
Yeah.
in
Well,
the next 3 months.
we've got the Alchemy showroom is going to be there, and there's a particular Romanian guy going to be taking over a bar. So very excited. But yeah, there's a lot going on, man. It's hard to keep up with in Bangkok. I mean, I'm happy because when I came here all those many years ago, before COVID, like 5 years ago, I could see it was happening. But at the time, there was like 4 bars that you could name. That was it.
Yes.
But I was like, there's a spark here. There's people are hungry. People want to create stuff, and I'm really glad I stuck with it. Rode the wave of COVID, and here we are now. So it's a cool time, man. I mean, Bangkok really is like the hub of gastronomy, I think, in Southeast Asia.
Yes, I do agree also. So Bangkok have more diversity. I mean, Singapore is more developed.
Yeah.
The market is more ready. The market is already very well educated. But Bangkok, we have more bigger populations first. Second, we have more bigger space.
Yeah.
And then now you have more selections. And those selection is very much value for money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you go to Hong Kong or you go to Singapore, the prices, obviously, because those 2 countries are already well developed than Bangkok.
Yeah.
So that's why the prices, currency exchange and etc. But here, I think for those of you that haven't visited Bangkok, I think you should.
Well, on that note then, so for people who are planning to come to Bangkok and maybe are in a community, where would you recommend? What are the top places they have to go see? Maybe bars, food, anything, or just maybe, your must-visit venues when you come to Bangkok.
Must-visit venues, obviously. In terms of cocktail bars,
Mm-hmm.
you can start first like in Thonglo if you want. In Thonglo, obviously you need to go like find the locker rooms, Rabbit Hole. Those 2 bars are very well established.
Yeah.
And it won't disappoint you for sure. And then after that, you move around to a little bit of hotel area. You can go, of course, to Miss Jigger's. If you are come to our area, it's very nice now because you can do bar hop very easily.
True. Yeah.
You can go to Firefly. You can go to Miss Jigger. Afterward, go all the way to 40th floor to Bayard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to continue to listen to jazz, you go to Crimson Room.
True.
And next couple of months, you can go to Alchemy Showcase Room
Yeah.
with our Romanian friend. And couple of months, maybe I think some bars will open more in that area. I heard some of the good name bars will open some branches over there.
Interesting. Okay. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah. And then after that, you can move along to Vesper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
So this is the whole journey. You move along to Vesper.
It's like a rite of passage. You kind of have to take Vespa off, right?
Yes. Then after that, if you still want to see a little bit of the hotel's feeling, you can go to House of Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
And after House of Saturn, you can continue before to Chinatown. You can stop by in Mahanium.
Mm.
So after Mahanium, go to Chinatown. Again, you can just walk, bar hop there in Chinatowns. When you arrive Tin of Thailand, Asia Today, and then you can go Independence, Tax Bar, Tap Bar, and you can end up in amazing Opium Bar.
Yes, and see Mateo. Definitely. I think that's a good route as well. Like if you definitely planned like a heavy night, it would be a heavy night. But
Yeah, it's
starting in Tonglor, going down Sukhumvit, heading over to Langsuan, then through, I guess down that way towards Chinatown.
yeah, Siloam, and then you go to Mahanium and then Chinatown. Or you can do vice versa.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good route. And then the great thing about it is like when it comes to 2, 3 a.m., you just have some street food in either place to recover.
Correct. Yes. When you end up in Chinatown, you still have food. When you end up in Tonglo, you still have food.
Definitely. Look, Dicky, it's been great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you.
You know, following you for a while now, really, really love what you do at Firefly. I think you're a great host. I think you're a great bartender and a leader as well to your team. Before we do go, is there anything you want to say to the audience? Any final thoughts of farewell?
For me, like, of course, definitely, like, please come by to Firefly Bars anytime you are here in Bangkok, or for those that haven't visited Firefly and you are already in Bangkok, so you can try. You can come and see me. You can come to see the team and enjoy the cocktail and also the music. And for everyone else out there that haven't visited Bangkok, please visit Bangkok. You can see Chris, you can see me. And if you need anything else, please let us know. And the most important thing is share more love, and love you always, brother.
Love you too, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. For those listening, thank you for tuning in once again. You can find this episode on Spotify, iTunes, and all other major podcast providers. And now, YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you.